Hi, welcome. I'm Julie Makowitz at the Women's Club. Today we're going to do a 30 to 45 minute practice to really bring some grounding and a sense of centering to ourselves. So for this practice, you may want a blanket or like a firm cushion, something to sit on, a couple blocks. And if you don't have blocks at home, you can use books or just anything that can bring the floor to you and be nice and steady when you're using them. All right, so settle in. We'll begin in a comfortable seat, a place where your low back can move in and up, top of your heart to the sky, and crown of your head to the sky. We'll start with a mudra called Prithvi mudra. Prithvi means earth. And when we work with this mudra, it's a gesture in our hands. It brings forth like the energy of the earth qualities within us and all around us. So it can bring a sense of grounding, a sense of centering to ourselves. And also if we find ourselves in a time where like our regular schedules are feeling like they're just in disarray, like there's a sense of upheaval. Our regular routines might have a big change to them. That working with this mudra can just help us in those times to really settle in to ourselves and adjust to whatever is happening around us. So we'll begin Prithvi mudra. We'll open our palms to the sky and then bring our ring finger and thumb together and leave our first finger, middle finger, little fingers extended, and rest our hands, the back of our hands, to our legs. And then close your eyes and allow your hips and your leg bones to get heavy. And here, begin to root and ground into the earth. And from those roots of your lower body, allow your spine to reach nice and tall to the sky. Low back draws in and up. Top of your heart to the sky. And draw the base of your skull back and up slightly, just until your chin is parallel to the floor. Neck nice and long, even like length through the back of the skull. And then rest here into the flow of your breath. Our breath is a tool that can draw our awareness inward, can allow us to move to that very center of self, that center of steadiness, of harmony, of spaciousness. So as you continue to root through your hips and your legs, anchoring to the earth, allow your breath to bring you into that inner center. And you may start to deepen your breath, nice and steady and easy, deepening your inhales, lengthening your exhales. Then gently bring your palms together, Anjali Mudra, in front of your heart. We'll begin our practice with the sound of one Om, a great roar of consciousness, and the radical yes, the radical affirmation to the whole of life. Exhale fully, and inhale. Oh. And gently bow your head to your heart. Center of self, center of being, that we can draw to, rest into at any time. Lower your hands, open your eyes. So starting in this seat, we'll bring our left hand outside our left hip. Turn your right palm to the sky. And exhale, crescent over to the left. If your left shoulder is up in your ear, you can bend your elbow and take the head of that left arm bone back to make some space. And breathe here to the right side of your body. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, second side. And as you crescent, really anchor down on this side into your left hip. So find those roots, and from there reach through your left fingertips. Root to the earth, inhale, come up. Exhale, first side. As we anchor down, we can find more freedom to lengthen, more freedom for spaciousness from the roots. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, second side, second time. And then inhale, come on up. Bring your left hand behind you. Right hand may come in front of you or to your left leg. And gently draw your inner thighs towards each other. So we find this midline of our body, that center line that runs like in front of our spine. And twist to the left here. So we draw to the midline. It's that place we draw to of that like physical steadiness and center. Inhale through center. Exhale, side two. Right hand behind you, left hand to your left thigh. And draw your inner thighs towards each other. Spine tall. And gently twist to the right. Breathe here, your front body, your back body, side body. And then inhale, come back through center. And we'll come to all fours on our mat. So as we come into our practice, we'll move nice and slow today. And really finding our foundations and that grounding to the earth. So bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, wrists underneath your shoulders, and wrist creases parallel to the short front edge of your mat. And then widen your fingers and root down best you can to the ball mound of your first finger and of your thumb. The other ball mounds of your fingers root down as well. So really anchoring to the earth. From here, cat-cow, inhale. Soften between your shoulder blades, lengthen the front of your spine, gaze and hips can lift. And then exhale, press the floor away, round, look towards your belly button. And continue here on the thread of your breath. As you inhale, lengthen the front of your spine. As you exhale, round. Finding that connection between breath and body, breath and movement. And after your next exhale, come back to neutral. Soften between your shoulder blades, claw the earth, and draw your belly button to your spine. Then tuck your toes, lift your knees, and extend back, downward facing dog. Feel free to walk out. This dog here, you can pedal out one heel at a time. And then come to stillness in your dog. Bend your knees. Press your hands down into the floor and lift your upper arm bones and armpits away from the floor. Then draw your belly button to your spine and reach your hands and hips apart. Hug muscle to bone in your legs, so engage your legs and then press your thigh bones towards your hamstrings to straighten your legs. Take a full breath here. Fill your body with your inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your knees to the earth a little wider than your outer hips. Big toes together, tops of your feet to the floor. Lift your chin, belly button to your spine. And press your hands down into the earth and forward to bring your hips back towards your heels. And pause with your head still lifted, so not to the floor, to a block yet. Let's get heavy through your hips. Find that sense of rooting. And then maybe walk your arms out a little further. Forehead and nose may come to the floor or to a block. And breathe here to your low belly, to your low back. Allowing your breath to be that bridge that connects the outer body to the inner, the seen to the unseen. Inhale, come back up through all fours. Knees hip distance, hands clear to the earth. Soften between your shoulder blades and tone your belly. Tuck your toes, press back, downward facing dog. Stretch out here. As much space through your spine, through your back body as you can find between your hips and heels. The bottom of your exhale, soften to your knees, look to your hands, and walk yourself to the front of your mat. When you arrive, feet can be a little wider than your outer hips and parallel to each other. Then fingertips to the floor or to blocks. You might bend your knees here if you feel a little tighter through your hamstrings or back body. Start to find the weight through the four corners of your feet. So the foundations of our feet now, big toe mound, little toe mound, inner and outer heel, root to the earth. Hug muscle to bone in your legs. Draw your belly button to your spine, and then with all of that, reach out through your leg bones, through your feet to the earth as the crown of your head moves towards the floor. Then take your hands to your hips, upper arm bones to the sky, lift your chin, root to the earth, and inhale, come on up. You can stay with your feet wide if you like, or bring them to hip distance. So our hip bones over our knees, over our ankles, with our feet parallel. Bring your hands to your hips and lift and spread your toes. Start to make some space between your toes. And now here, root down through that big toe mound. Then reach back to your inner heel, root it down. Lengthen over to your little toe mound, root it. And reach back to your outer heel, root it down. And then bring your toes back to the earth. Bend your knees slightly to feel the heads of your thigh bones moving back. So they soften back. The sense of just like resting and rooting. Then tone your legs, hug muscle to bone, and imagine you have a block between your inner thighs and start to squeeze your inner thighs to each other. As you do that, tone your belly and start to lift your pubic bone up towards your belly button as your tailbone moves down to straighten your legs. So we're nice and toned through our legs, drawing to that midline of self. Then root down to the earth and inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale your arms beside you. As you inhale and reach to the sky, remember your roots. Root down to rise up. And as you exhale, lengthen the crown of your head still to the sky as your arms move down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, take your left hand to your left hip. Inhale, reach even longer on your right side, and exhale, crescent to the left. You can stay here or float that left arm up, hold your right wrist, and gently pull. On your right wrist, open your throat like we did sitting. Breathe into the right side of your ribcage. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right hand to your right hip. Inhale, get long on the left side. Anchor from your outer left hip to your outer left foot. Reach from your low ribs to those left fingers. And exhale, crescent right. Tone your belly, open your throat. Maybe float your right arm up to hold that left wrist. Breathe. Inhale, come up, Urdhva Hastasana. From your hips down through your legs, through your feet, root to the earth. And from your low ribs all the way around, reach to the sky. Draw your low ribs back and make even more space through your back body. Inhale here, get long. And then exhale, hinge at your hips with length in your spine and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, take a giant step back with your left foot. Pause, four corners of our right foot to the earth. And then tone your back leg and lift that thigh bone up into your left hamstrings. Root down, inhale, come up, hands to your hips. Again, lift your left thigh bone up. Sit towards 90 degrees in your right knee. Stay here or arms up. Trying to track that right knee right in line with your ankle. So 90 degrees at the most, or we're bigger in our angle. You can hold your left wrist with your right fingers. Draw your inner thighs to each other. Exhale, crescent right. So playing with that steadiness here. Inhale, come on up. Second side, hold your right wrist, get long. Exhale, crescent to the left. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands may come to the floor or to blocks. Lift your left thigh bone up and draw your inner thighs towards each other. Then take your right hand to your right hip. Draw that hip back, reach your spine even longer, and twist to the right. You can keep your right hand to your hip or extend it straight up to the sky and reach your hands apart. Draw to the midline. So even in this twist, when things feel like they're just like swirling around, can we find that steadiness of our center? Exhale, top hand down. Bring your left knee to the earth, and then shift your weight back. Flex your right foot. Bring your left foot back behind you to the right like a kickstand, and both hands inside your right leg. So you might be up on blocks here. Hands can stay right underneath your shoulders. Or maybe you walk your upper body out at a 30-degree angle to the left. Press down through your right heel and isometrically pull that heel back to your right hip. And then press out through your right big toe mound. Inhale, walk yourself in. Turn back to the front of the mat. Right foot to the floor. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So stay low as you like. Hands maybe to your thigh. Maybe you bring your arms up. Draw your right heel and left knee isometrically towards each other. So that midline, that steadiness, that balance. Then reach out through your left thigh bone, right thigh bone. Reach your spine out of your hips. Exhale, hands to the earth. Lift your back knee. Now press down into your right foot to step forward. Fold all the way in, feet clear, legs strong, Uttanasana. Inhale, giant step back with your right foot. Clear through your legs. So we remember even the back leg. Then root down, inhale, come up, hands to your hips. Lift your right thigh bone up as you descend 90 degrees in your front leg. Stay here or arms up. Stay with your breath, that big connection to the inner body, to that center of self. If you'd like, hold your right wrist with your left fingers. Draw up and exhale, crescent left. Inhale, center. Hold your left wrist. Get long and exhale, crescent right. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the floor to blocks. Draw to the midline, inner thighs. Left hand to your left hip. Pull it back. Get even more length through your spine as you twist, and maybe left arm to the sky. Spread your wings. Breathe all the way around your rib cage, all the way around your lungs. Exhale, left hand down. Right knee to the earth. Shift your weight back. Ardha Hanumanasana variation. Bring your right foot behind you like a kickstand. Arms about 30 degrees to the right inside your left leg. You can stay up high, maybe to blocks, or maybe walk yourself out. Then create that isometric hamstring curl in your left leg. Press that left heel down, isometrically pull it to your hip, and press out through your left big toe mound. Inhale, walk yourself in, turn to the left, and come on forward. Low lunge. Stay low. You might have blocks under your hands. Hands might stay to your thigh or arms up. Draw your legs towards each other. Belly button to your spine, and then extend out of your hips in every direction. Stay to your breath. Exhale, hands down. Lift your back knee. Step into that left foot to come forward and fold all the way in. Uttanasana. Place your hands to the earth and press back to downward facing dog. Press your hands down. Press down through that first finger ball mount and lift your arm bones up. Tone your belly and reach from the backs of your shoulders out through your hands, backs of your shoulders out through your hips, hips and heels apart. Inhale forward to plank. Soften between your shoulder blades. Exhale, knees to the earth. Tone your belly. And then pull the floor up to you as you lower your belly to the floor. As you arrive to the earth, extend your legs, tops of your feet to the floor, and click your toenails down. Arms beside you, high to your fingertips, and lift your shoulder blades away from the floor. All right, hug muscle to bone in your legs. Inhale, reach your heart forward, lengthen your spine out of your hips, curl open. Maybe reach your toes way back, legs engaged, and float them up. You might extend your arms. Shalabhasana variation. One more inhale here, reach your toes and your heart apart, and exhale, come on down. Place your hands beside your chest, tuck your toes, come to all fours. Look to your hands, nice and clear. Soften your upper back. Tone your belly, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Step your feet a little bit wider than your outer hips. And then start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Then stay high to your fingertips. When your heels hit the earth, start to bring your weight back into your heels. Unlock your knees and start to reach your hips back behind your heels as well. Counter reach your arms way forward, high on your fingertips. Inhale to your back. Exhale, draw your low ribs up. Next, inhale, come to the four corners of your feet. Hands to your shins. Press your hands and shins into each other. Lengthen your spine, root to the earth, and come on up. Okay, so take a big wide step on our mat. With our arms out like a T, wrists over our ankles. From here, turn your right toes out to the right. Exhale, warrior two. And like we did earlier, we'll take the heads of our thigh bones back to make just more space in that left hip crease. And open your right knee right in line with your second and third toe. Take a breath here. Then take your right forearm to your right thigh. Turn your left arm, hand to the sky. You can stay here, Parsva Konasana. Maybe arm up, maybe arm over your ear. Then draw your low ribs back, and like we did in crescent, reach your outer left hip to your outer left foot. Low ribs through those left fingertips. Root down, inhale, come up. Arrive to the pose and straighten your right leg. Inhale, turn your palms up and extend your arms to the sky. Get long through both sides of your body. Then exhale, open your arms up, strong right leg, and exhale, triangle. Feel free to have a block underneath your right hand here, any prop. Left arm might be to the sky or to your hip. Then root down through your leg bones, through your feet to the earth, and reach out through the crown of your head, through your fingertips. Root down, inhale, pull yourself up, warrior two. Arrive into the pose. Then straighten your right leg, turn those right toes forward, left toes to the left, warrior two. And set it up from the four corners of both feet, the very foundation of the pose. Ground, thigh bones back, left knee opens, and lie at the center of our ankle. Left forearm to your left thigh. Turn your right palm up, stay here, arm to the sky or overhead. Then draw your low ribs back. Find length through your back body and extend. Root down, inhale, come up, warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Hug muscle to bone all around. Inhale, arms up, get long. And then exhale with that length into triangle. Reach out through your leg bones. Breathe the whole shape of the pose. Breath and body. Root down, inhale, come up, warrior two. Straighten your left leg, turn those toes forward, hands to your hips. And take the heads of your arm bones back. Unlock your knees and exhale, hinge at your hips to fold. Lead with your heart and bring your hands to the floor or to blocks right underneath your shoulders. So nice long spine, belly button draws up towards your spine. Stay here or exhale, continue to hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart and fold in. Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands can walk back. Heels of your hands might line up with your feet. Fingers and toes point in the same direction. Inhale, walk yourself out. We'll just move side to side. You can turn those right toes out slightly and start to bend into that knee. Come up through center. Bend to the left. You can extend and straighten through your right leg. And just side to side. Stay nice and low here. Connecting to the earth, to that grounded energy. And inhale, come back through center. Toes forward, extend your spine. Hands to your hips, root to the earth. Inhale, come on up. Then step your feet together. And let's come back to the top of the mat. In Tadasana, feet nice and clear. Lift your toes, spread them. Toes back to the earth, four corners of our feet. Root down. Then root to the earth. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lift those arm bones up, legs nice and clear. On an inhale, hug muscle to bone in your right leg, and from your inner right thigh, float that leg up. So all 5 toes point towards the earth. Look to your hands and step your right foot forward between your hands. Same like we did in high lunge. And if our foot ends up back here, you can help it along and step it forward so that our knee is right above the ankle. All right, root down, inhale, come up, high lunge. Then exhale, hands through your heart center and pause here, connecting to that center of self. Draw your inner thighs to each other. Come forward and pause with a long spine. Draw your outer right hip back. Reach along through the left side of your body and twist to the right. You might bring your left elbow to your right thigh, palms together. You might come to the first variation we did, left hand to the earth inside our foot instead. Breathe here. Stay connected to that center as you twist. And then exhale, look down. Place your hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, float your left leg up from your inner left thigh. Pull that outer right hip back to help keep your hips nice and level. And then step your left foot forward between your hands. Lift your right thigh bone up, root down. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, hands through your heart center, pause. And that remembrance of that steadiness, that spaciousness, that harmony that is always available. Then come on forward. Draw your inner thighs to each other, outer left hip back. Get long and twist. Keep that length on the right side. Palms together, nice and light. Breathe here. Stay with that connection to breath, that connection to our body. Exhale, look down. Hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Our body is really in great connection to the element of earth. So we drop into our embodiment to help ourselves ground. The connection of our breath into the body to draw to our center. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, knees to the earth. Tone your belly. Come all the way down. Tops of our feet to the floor. Click your toenails down, legs strong. Then hands beside your chest. Press the tops of your feet down, your pelvis down, and inhale. Reach your spine out of your hips and curl open, low cobra. Stay here if this is good in your body. Or press your hands down, pull them back. Get longer through your spine, lengthen your heart forward. And curl out of the earth into cobra. Bend your elbows wide. Take the heads of your arm bones back and draw your shoulder blades behind your heart. So we have space in our neck, nice broadening through our heart center. And press down through your first finger ball mount. Curl open. Exhale, come on down. Press back, downward facing dog. And exhale, knees to the earth. Can keep your thighs parallel this time. And back to child's pose with our arms beside us. Anchor down here. Return in. Connecting to that inner body. Feeling grounded. And inhale. Come on up. I'll do a couple seated postures. So if you'd like, you can use a blanket or any prop to sit up on. We'll start with our legs out nice and long. And then step your left foot over your right knee. Some of us might feel better to keep our foot inside our knee. 4 corners of our left foot to the earth. Interlace your hands around your left knee, and then get nice and tall, low back in and up, top of your heart to the sky. Then take your left hand behind you, right arm up, anchor down through your right hip, get long through the right side, and twist to the left. And you can hug your left knee with your right arm. You may look over your left shoulder. Inhale through center, extend your left leg. Bend your right knee. You might step that foot over your left knee. All 4 corners of our right foot to the earth. Then interlace your hands around your right knee. Tall through your spine. Right hand behind you. Left arm up, then root down. Get long through the left and twist to the right. You can hug your left arm around your right knee and look over your right shoulder. And stay with the fullness of breath to not only the front body, but really expand through the back body, the side body. Inhale, come back through center. Then bring your legs to a V, similar to when we were standing. And if you find yourself when you sit that your low back really rounds, bring yourself up higher, or just kind of shimmy yourself and adjust yourself until your low back moves in and up. Spine nice and tall, top of your heart to the sky. And then here, Upavishta Konasana. Can slightly bend our knees and manually move our inner thighs down and back. Move those muscles. Tone your legs, and here anchor your thigh bones down as your spine reaches tall. And you can stay right here, or exhale, hinge at your hips. Really find length through your spine. Lead with your heart as you come forward. Reach your hips back. So you may not come down very far at all, and that's great. It's not where we end up, how close to the floor we are. It's just listening to our body and where we are today, and resting into that pulse of your breath. Connecting into our embodiment, to the body, to our center. Then inhale, come on up. Bring your hands underneath your knees and extend your legs long. Dandasana, root down to the earth, get long through your spine. And then come back to a comfortable seat here. do a short pranayama practice. It's a practice with our breath, apana, pranayama. The apana vayu, like the vayu means wind, and apana is the breath that moves downward. It's that grounding energy, grounding breath. So we can sit here with Prithvi mudra, ring finger and thumb together, palms to the sky. Close your eyes and allow yourself to just rest into the flow of your breath. We'll come into apana pranayama together. And what it is, it's a count of our breath, and we extend the exhale. So how we'll work together, we'll inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for 5. And we want this to be with a sense of ease. So if some of us, that feels too much and it might bring up like a sense of like urgency or just like discomfort, you can change that count to inhale 2, exhale 4. Maybe it's inhale 1, exhale 2. With the idea that it's a slow, steady exhale. The exhale can bring just more grounding to us. So nice tall spine. Wherever you are, exhale fully. And then inhale 1, 2, 3. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue a couple more rounds on your own. And when you come to that place at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale, there's this little pause that happens in our breath. And you can, at that moment, just notice that pause. That pause is a place of stillness. It's like this sacred pause and quietness. You don't have to hold it. As you inhale to the top, just rest in that momentary pause. The bottom of your exhale, rest into that pause. At the bottom of your next exhale, allow yourself to come back to the natural flow of your breath. Release the pranayama. Allow yourself just for a moment to notice if there's any shift, any different sensation, anything that happens in these very subtle practices, or maybe not so subtle. Release the mudra and gently come onto your back. As you arrive to your back, step your feet to the earth a little wider than your hips. Your arms can be out like a Y or like a V. Inhale here, then exhale, release your knees to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to the right. On your breath, inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. And inhale back through center. And gently draw your knees to your chest. You can hold around your hamstrings or your shins. Skull and shoulders to the earth. Some of us, it might feel okay to rock side to side. Then full body stretch. Release your legs, extend them long, bring your arms up overhead. You can hook your thumbs. Make a big inhale here. Make space all the way between your feet and your fingers. As you exhale, draw your low ribs back, soften your front body. One more big inhale here. Then exhale, release, and make your way into Shavasana. So if you'd like any props, cover yourself with a blanket, socks, more clothing, whatever it is that will make Shavasana feel wonderful to you. And as you arrive to your Shavasana, close your eyes. Remember here the earth beneath you, the support of the earth. You can rest every bone in your skeleton. Soften through your muscles, your organs. Release your jaw, soften through your eyes. Rest into that support of the earth. And continue to rest in Shavasana for as long as you can. I'll close here. I thank you so much for being here and for practicing together today. And may we remember that whatever it is that is going on, if things just seem in total like upheaval and disarray, that there is this place that is always there inside each one of us, that center of self, that place of steadiness, of harmony, of spaciousness. And that way we can always ground down to the earth, ground and root into ourselves, into that center. Namaste.